Dude, Mookluk, where the fuck are we? And why do I have a piece of tissue paper on my face?
I was following the map.
Okay.
We passed through a septic area, and now we're here, and
Well,
I'm not sure where we're going.
If we were following your directions, no wonder we got lost.
Oh, okay.
All
Blame
right,
me.
If we're gonna figure out where to go from here on out, we're gonna have to get some help. We're gonna have to. I'm a shaman. I'm the cool ass shaman here. We're gonna have to beseech the spirits to help us.
Oh,
And
use your powers.
I will. So the power of. Let me just do a cool ass emote as I decline this guild invite. Charles summons the power of the spirits. Speak, spirits, speak!
Call in the spirit world.
Oh, this is where I talk.
Yeah, that's where you talk.
Hello.
Oh, how magical. My ritual worked.
Like what I did there, I pretended like I didn't know what was going on, and then I kind of just threw in me.
It was great improv. I don't think anyone will notice.
You're a true role player.
Thank you. I role-played my whole life. I actually invented roleplay.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I used to roleplay, but not anymore. Back in the day.
Yeah,
Before we talk too much to the spirit, maybe we should ask it its name, just in case. In case people wouldn't know who the spirit is.
Yeah, spirit. Who are you? Spirit of fire? Speak.
Well, I don't like to give out my name too often. Very personal information.
Okay.
My name is Coriander.
Coriander. Yes. What do you do, Coriander? Or what did you do in your life?
That's a type of sauce, isn't it? That's a type of sauce.
It's like I thought it was a spice, or is it a sauce?
Coriander. I'm thinking of coriander. You're right.
I can't.
Yeah, like I go
You're
great.
such a wise spirit.
Thank you. I go great on spaghetti.
Oh, but what did you do in your life, spirit? What did you do?
Well, I used to be addicted to World of Warcraft.
Ew.
Yeah, I know, right?
Ew. Hate that game.
And then I made videos about World of Warcraft because I loved it so much.
Mm-hmm.
And then people yelled at me about how I didn't make enough videos. And now I'm here.
Well, been there, done that.
It's fun.
Been there,
Great
done that.
fun.
What started your addiction to World of Warcraft?
Mm-hmm.
Like, what got you into it in the first place?
Well, I was playing Halo 2 in my freshman year of college, and my friend was like, "Hey, I'm gonna play this game, World of Warcraft. It's coming out, or it came out, something like that." And I was like, "Sweet." And then I was like, $15 a month to play a game. That's stupid. And then I paid the $15 a month and bought the game and never looked back.
There you go.
And my grades suffered.
You and me
I
both.
think I can tell a similar story. Like I didn't pick up the game for the same reason because of the price, and pretty much the same. Picked it up and some grades dropped as well. So don't feel too bad.
Oh, I don't feel bad at all. It worked out great.
Dude, when I picked up WoW and I started playing WoW, my grades, to say drop would be an understatement, but my mommy and daddy, back when I was a young lad, I remember their punishment for me whenever I would be doing bad in school because of WoW, is they would take WoW away from me. They'd cancel my subscription, and there was no worse hell than that, right? But joke's on them, because I would just make a trial account and keep playing. Because back then,
Oh, how clever!
I was so clever, because back then, like it was just a 10-day trial. You could do whatever you want. There was no limitations on it, and there wasn't like a level cap. You could just do whatever you wanted for 10 days.
Scam the system.
Yeah, man, it was awesome. So joke's on them, and I would just pretend like I was like studying and stuff whenever I was in my room.
My parents were like too non-tech savvy to ever be like, "We're gonna cancel your WoW subscription." They're like, "You're playing a war game?"
Yeah, WoWcrendor.
Yeah, my parents couldn't understand the internet, and luckily they still don't. They have no idea like about Machinima or anything like that. They're just like, you make videos on something. Like, yeah. I just make videos on a video game and just leave it at that.
Mm-hmm.
My dad's always like, you make those characters still in that game? And I'm like, yeah, I haven't made one of those in a while though, but I mean, you know, he's like you talked, you're the gnome, you talked as the gnome? And I was like, that was like 6 years ago. And he's like, yeah.
Here's a question for you. Like, I'm gonna assume that by what you just said, it's gonna be yes, but have you actually, like, sat your, like, parents down at any point and, like, shown them, like, one of your videos and had them sit through the whole thing?
Oh yeah.
Oh really?
Once I started making money, and they're like, how are you making money doing this? I was like, I'll show you. And they're like, and then you make money doing this? And I was like, yeah. And they're like, huh. But they're just like, so people watch these characters you're creating. I'm like, well, they're not characters I'm creating. I'm just putting personas onto the character. And they're like, oh, what's this joke me? Is this a joke? And I'm like, you have to play the game to understand. They're just like, so what if I wanted to make one of these? And I was like, oh god, no. First you know how to use a computer.
Yeah.
I had an aunt that really wanted to see what I created, and she actually sat through like a couple of my videos completely stone-faced, and at the end she just turned to me and said, like,
that wasn't funny.
I don't get it, but it looks nice.
What video did you show her? I want to know.
I think it might have been the Old Gods Are Everyone video.
You showed her that one?
Yeah, why? Well, she wanted to see one.
That one like has scary monsters and stuff in it.
Oh, she's fine.
Okay.
I don't like you watching these scary things.
Are you trying to summon the devil or something in here, boy? Yeah. Oh, come on. Dude.
I'm only a little boy, please.
Dude, no joke. When the reason why I asked that question is because, first of all, going back to what you said, Mr. Crendonator, or what was it?
Coriander,
Mr. Coriander.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, crap, that threw my mind off. What was I gonna say? First of all, oh yes, I remember. Okay, shh, everyone, calm down.
I expected a high sense of professionalism from this show.
It's very, hey, Spirit,
it's very
shut up.
Professional. Phones go off in the first episode.
I didn't summon you to critique this show. Anyway, so.
You know what? I've been asleep 800 years.
Oh,
all right.
Okay. You're an old man.
A little cranky.
You're my great ancestor. All right. So, anyway, so the first thing to say is that you're talking about like how like your mother and father refer to it as like those characters, and it's funny because my mother refers to Nixxiom as that man. Like she's like, have you been making more videos with that man in it? And I'm like, you mean that manly man? Yes. Like, yes, I have been.
That man. That man.
What are we supposed to do here, by the way, real fast?
Oh
yeah, blow this horn.
Oh.
Okay, don't worry, I'm doing it.
It's just like, it's something where older people, or there's like an older generation, don't understand it. Like, we've grown up with video games and the internet and all that, but like, they're so confused. Like, they think of computers like email and Facebook.
Yep.
And, Mario. You play the Mario game? I know that one.
The Marios and the Pac-Mans. I did actually show, well, I didn't want to show my mother one of my videos, but we were talking about, like, you know, what do I do exactly? What's that money-making thing you do, Nixxiom? And I was explaining, and she's like, well, let me see your channel, let me see it. And I was like, oh, great, here we go. And so I was like, well, I'll show her my channel, it's no big deal. So I showed her the channel, and like, yeah, this is the number of people that follow me. And she was like, that's a lot of people. I was like, yeah, that's a couple. And then she was like, let me watch one of the videos. What are all these people watching? I want to see what all these people are watching. And I was like, oh, well, keep in mind, my mother is like a very kind of stereotypical Southern Christian Baptist woman, and so there's a bit of naughty words in my videos, so I'm like, oh, well, you know, okay. So the video at the time was How to Mage, and I put that one on, and I think that the level 58 Death Knight somewhere in the beginning, or in like somewhere like right in the beginning, he drops like the F-bomb or something. And so, or no, he says...
He drops more than one.
No, he says, poor piece of shit. And like as soon as he said that, Mom was like, oh my goodness. Paused it. She's like, I ain't watching this. And I was like, yes, that's what I do. She's like, they let you say that on the internet? I'll never forget that. They let you say that? I was like, say what?
You haven't been arrested?
You haven't been arrested? Like,
Unbelievable.
I'm surprised they let you say that online.
You punk.
You punk. You heathen.
This video has been banned for naughty words.
Yeah. I was like, yeah, you can say naughty words on the internet. She was, oh my goodness, I didn't realize society had degraded that far. And I was like, yeah, whatever. So, and she left, and that was the end of that conversation. So, she just refers to it as that man, and she doesn't understand.
I've always found that like quote bad words is such a like culturally specific thing. So obviously like everywhere the bad words are different, right? So like over here you can't like you can say bloody and nobody cares. Then like in England, everyone's gonna be like, oh bloody baby, right?
yeah. So bloody hell.
Yeah.
Bloody hell,
So
Harry.
it's like
Wait.
just that culture shift alone shows like the difference. And then like some people don't care, some people care. It's such a weird thing to get mad about. I don't know.
I learned something about America recently. I think you told me, Nixxiom, that you can't say like the F. Or I don't know why I'm blanking myself. This isn't a family friendly show. You can't say fuck or shit on like certain times.
You can
in
say
America,
shit.
like, oh, you can.
Yeah, shit's okay now.
Shit's okay now, just recently. Like,
Ah.
but the F word...
There's been a revolution.
Yeah, there's a few words that you can't... There's been a revolution. There's a few words that you can't say on American TV. I don't think you can say, like, cunt and stuff like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not sure.
Definitely can't. Or you can't drop any F-bombs. You
Yeah.
can't. They're just gonna be like, my virgin ears.
Yeah, exactly. From the youth. The poor youth.
Oh,
Were you-
lordy. I just imagine someone fanning themselves. You know, those old, like, paper fans. Like, oh, my.
Oh my. Wearing a bonnet and, like, an old, like, Puritan outfit and stuff.
I think that mainly is like the South too. That's more like watch
Yeah,
your
yeah.
language.
Yeah. Yep, I live in the South.
Yeah.
Lots of good boys here.
Good old boys. You
Mm-hmm.
just set up a lemonade stand right there. You get some lemons going. You get a nice young official business. You build it up into a lemonade tycoon.
Mm-hmm. The
And
only
you
one
take
that's,
over the world.
the only
May
one
go
that's
bankrupt.
the only one that's taking my sister to prom is me. Those kinds of people. It's great.
And my cousin.
And my cousin. Me and my cousin take my sister to prom, boy. You ain't taking her. Ah,
How
America.
wars break out.
Land of the free. I love it.
Yeah, I don't know how we got here, but
Yeah, we kind of drifted off from WoW to inbreeding, but
just
all right.
another day.
That's alright.
we can bring it back if you want.
Well, I got a question. And it's in relation to the very first question that you asked me, Cluck, because this immediately popped into my head when you were like, so how did you get into WoW, Mr. Crendor? I was like, I wanted to ask, so WoWcrendor, how many times have you answered that damn question?
Yeah.
I think if I had to make like a tally of the most asked questions I've gotten over years, it would be, how do you get into WoW? How do you start making videos? How can I start making videos? And how do you think up the ideas you think up? Which I've always found like, how do I get started on YouTube or whatever? And like, how do you think up your ideas is like really vague
Yeah,
like
of
questions, because it's like, I don't know, I just use my brain. And I just-
Exactly.
I think about them. And
Do you ever get the comments that are like, you must be high when you wrote this? And
Yeah.
it's like, no.
I mean,
Maybe.
people pretty much think I'm always high, which is just ironic since I'm never high.
Mm.
And it's just, they're like, wow, you must be so calm. You're like the most chill person. I'm like, yeah, dude, I'm definitely the most chill, even with my deep down anxieties. I have a lot of anxiety. Not like, I used to have social anxiety, like really bad in high school, but like after YouTube and stuff, that's gone away. Now I just have like generalized anxiety. Like if you fly in a plane, I'm like, we're gonna miss the thing. It's gonna be
yeah.
awful.
I'm the exact
Yeah.
same way, man. I
Yeah.
know the feels. I tell me if you agree with this statement. I personally would rather be 2 hours early to an event than 1 minute late.
Mm-hmm.
Would you agree with that?
I would agree with that. Even especially like airports or anything like that, I'll always go early.
Yes.
Like super early.
Oh my goodness.
It's because it's not worth like getting there and like panicking and being like, can we get the flight? We gotta get on the flight. Get through security. Oh my god. It's freaking out.
I know the feels, my friend. I know the feels. Terrible.
Well, going off of that question, I actually have a good one then.
All right.
Has like YouTube or like Twitch helped you overcome some of your anxieties over the years?
Yeah, because like when I first started YouTube, I made a vlog. It was like a 5-6-year-old vlog, right? And I'm just like, first time I ever like put my face on the internet, and I'm just like, hello, this is me on the internet, and this is what I look like. Like it's extremely awkward. I'm like extremely nervous. I like have this weird voice I'm doing like this. I know in like all my first videos for like the first year or two, I have this weird voice I put on, like an entertainer type voice. I'm like, hello everyone, it is me, WoWcrendor. And like I can't watch my old things because of that. Like it pains me to watch it. I'm like, ugh. So like I'll see an old video I did, like with Rise of Nations. I made one. I'm like, greetings internet people, it is I, WoWcrendor. And I'm like, I'm gonna remake that because I can't. It's physically painful. So doing this for years and years has definitely helped overcome all those like awkward anxieties and social anxiety. Plus you meet people like Jesse and everyone who like help you get out of your like shell a bit, because he's just like a social beacon lighthouse. People just gravitate towards him, and so it definitely helps. But I wouldn't recommend that as like a therapy for yourself. I mean, be like, all right, I'll start YouTube and then I'll get over my social anxiety, and then you get people being like, you sound like an idiot, you're dumb. It's like, oh, okay.
I've put out a couple opinion videos. It took a lot of courage before I started putting out those opinion videos on my channel, like, this is what I think of Legion so far, this is what I think of whatever, and people are merciless sometimes. There's a couple videos I've made, like 1 or 2, where I don't look at the comments anymore. Yeah. Because it's kind of like, oh gosh, like every comment's just like, you're dumb. You know what you're talking about.
It's literally Hearthstone. Like every Hearthstone. I don't stream Hearthstone anymore unless I'm gonna open packs. Like I don't stream Hearthstone ever, and I'll only play Tavern Brawls now. And I don't read the comments. I'm just like, I had fun playing this Tavern Brawl, even though I probably misplayed some things. And then I just look at the dislikes. There's like 30 dislikes, and I'm like, yep, there's the dislike people, and I'm like, I'm not reading the comments.
How dare you have fun? How dare you?
It's funny that you bring that up, because I was at my friend's house the other night, and we were talking about the new Hearthstone expansion that was just about to be announced, and he was saying like, oh yeah, they're doing this, they're doing that, and he asked me like, oh, would you ever stream Hearthstone on your stream? And I was like, no. Like, no. And I ain't ever released an Hearthstone videos on my main channel, because let me tell you something, I've looked at WoWcrendor's Hearthstone videos, and I know that I'm an even worse player than he is, so the last thing I want to do is read those scary comments. And he just was laughing the whole time.
Anywhere you watch a Hearthstone video, it's the people that are like, you have to play every round right.
Yes.
Otherwise you're stupid. And I'm like, I just don't. I enjoy just playing and having fun, even like if I don't get it right. Like even if I don't get something right, I'm having fun. Exactly. Like I'm not like, oh, I misplayed that and could have got a 1 more point of damage, which would have led me to the win a turn earlier. But I'm like, I don't care. This is supposed to be a casual, fun card game. That's why they made it. But it's become such a competitive scene surrounding it.
Yeah.
I think when you accept that you're bad at video games, you start having more fun. Because then the pressure of being good, it sort of like just wears off. And you can just enjoy it for what it is.
I agree with that. Because like, there's a few types of people you watch online. So there's like the entertaining people, which it's like you're not that great, but people watch you because you can be entertaining. Or you can watch the good people that they may not be as entertaining, but they're really good at whatever they're doing. I feel like those are the two main types of like either YouTubers or streamers. Because there's a lot of people, once like they're really good at a game and they're streaming or making videos, and they switch to something else, nobody cares anymore.
Yeah, yeah.
While with entertaining people, they can kind of play a lot of different things and people still watch. So it's, I don't know, that's what I've noticed in my analysis.
Yeah.
Calculated.
I haven't watched too many, like, I tend to watch more kind of the entertaining personalities more than the pro gamers.
Me too.
The few times that I've watched the pro gamers, I'm always amazed with how many people watch them, because usually when it's a Hearthstone player, they're so into the game that they're sitting there in complete silence, just staring at the screen with this very determined look on their face.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's like there's like 5,000 people watching them. I'm like, wow.
And their chat's just blowing up with like
Yeah.
emotes and spam.
All like cancer.
Yep.
And occasionally they look at the chat and go, and then they look back at the game. It is, like, people, when I'm streaming, people will say that all the time. Like, I don't get like 10,000 views like some people do, but people are like, oh, like, Nixxiom, you address the chat a lot. And you get that as compliments too, McCluck. You address the chat a lot. And it's like, yeah, because there's not, well, it's easy for us because there ain't 5,000 people watching. Like, spamming those little faces and stuff.
Kappa
Like,
kappa.
Well, it's like that's the whole point of Twitch is like the chat interaction.
yeah,
That's what I always thought. I always like my chat because even when I get like around 1,000 people, it still moves pretty slowly.
Yeah, yeah.
And everyone's like, wow, this is this like slowest chat I think I've seen with this many viewers. And I'm always like, that's because people either have this on as background noise, or they're asleep, or they're just kind of chilling. Like I feel like nobody that watches me is really like super intense like personality. Like they're not gonna be like, oh man, I feel like watching Crendor right now, yeah. Because I'm just like, hello,
Hey guys.
how are you?
I guess the type of personality of the entertainer attracts a certain audience as well. So your
really
audience probably attracts quite a mellow audience, so that's nice.
Yeah, like I've gotten more compliments on like me putting people to sleep than I think anything. Like I remember at Trader Joe's one time, the dude worked there was just like, I really like your World of Crendors, and I'm like, oh thank you. He's like, I just listen to them before I go to sleep because they relax me, and I was like, thanks, it's kind of weird, but
yeah.
I
put you to sleep, but okay.
And at like BlizzCon one time, they're just like, please don't stop doing WoW leveling. I put that on when I vacuum. And I was like, oh, okay. All right.
Oh.
It's just, like, I feel like other people don't get those types of compliments. I don't know. I'm fine with it.
We occasionally get that with
we do.
with this series, right? Like, I mean, we didn't intend for it to be so popular with a few people. I mean, the few people that watch us.
Yeah.
But you said that at BlizzCon, people were like, "Hey, keep doing Greatest Adventure." Yeah. Of all the things.
Of all the things, I was very genuinely surprised of all the people that were like, "Oh gosh, Nixxiom, I love the Greatest Adventure. Like, you have got to keep doing the Greatest Adventure." And,
dude, look. Treasure chest.
Treasure chest. Make sure you roll for that shit.
That's a great adventure.
Dude, look, the spirit has guided us to this treasure chest.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
dude.
take it.
Wasn't even drinking here.
You're disgusting.
You want it? It's actually...
You're the worst kind of person.
What? I just... Listen. You knew I would have beat you if I had actually rolled for it. You know on the inside.
Mine, you're rolling.
Yeah,
Here, I'll roll. Watch. Look at that. I won.
Alright, okay, fine.
See?
Fine.
Check that shit out, man. I ninja.
Oh my god, I haven't rolled in WoW in forever. Like, actually rolled.
Oh my goodness. I thought you were a role player, sir. Don't you roll in your D&D events? I mean, come on.
I mean, of course.
Of course.
Yeah.
You ever played D&D before? Random question.
I hadn't played it, and then, I don't know if you know JP on Twitch, but he runs like a roleplay series on his channel, and he is like, do you and Jesse want to be on this D&D thing? And I was like, sure. So like once a week or once every 2 weeks, we'd show up for like 4 hours, and we just played Saga of the Icelanders, which was, it's all on YouTube now. You can Google it, YouTube, whatever you want. But like, I was an old fortune-telling witch.
A vulva.
In like, yeah, that's what it was.
That's my corner of study in school, so
yeah.
You're
and
a
then
vulva.
Jesse, he was like this old, like, he was like a woman warrior, but like he wasn't respected because of it but like he didn't care. He's kind of like Brienne
Yeah,
in Game
yeah.
of Thrones, and
Yeah.
then the two women on the show played men, so that was kind of fun.
I was about to
And-
say, you played an old lady, and then he played like the young
Yeah.
warrioress. Like what?
They're like, you play
It's like
women and
a
they'll play
play.
men. Yeah.
Okay, all right.
And so I ended up having like intense power, which was really fun because I could like foresee people's outcomes. So I'd be like, oh yeah, it's not looking too good for her. If like you'd have to roll and be like, if you roll really well, you can kind of see what's gonna happen to people. So I'd like, I was almost a mini dungeon master in that case, which was really cool. So I'd be like, ah yes, Shannon's not gonna have a good day tomorrow. Looks like someone's aiming a bow at her face. So I could just like twist the story like that, and it was really fun. I enjoyed like playing. I would play it again because I'd never played it prior to that, but I'd always wanted to.
Is this like a game on Steam or something? Or
No, it's like a pen and paper, like.
okay.
But we had like the DM guy, like he has two DM guys. There's like Adam and Steven, and like they're really good at it. And so you like print out a sheet and you fill out your sheet, and then we use like a dice rolling website, and like it was pretty cool. I enjoyed it, but you gotta really like have the people that are committed to doing it,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
they're
of
not
course.
just like, I don't want to play anymore. I'm not having fun.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So that like happens with a lot of games. You're like, hey, let's play this game, and like you keep playing, and like people keep dropping off. Like, I don't like it.
Yeah, yeah.
Then you're just down to you and someone else, and it's like, let's quit.
Mm.
It's almost like WoW.
Oh,
lot of
I
people-
was just about to say this. It's like almost like the recent events in WoW.
Yeah. You don't like garrisons?
You
Oh, see
don't
ya.
like that shipyards? You don't like those Apexis dailies?
Yeah, I haven't done the shipyard. I think I've done it like 3 times, and it's like, I don't care.
The shipyard is kind of what made me sort of semi-quit, besides doing this series and getting backgrounds.
Yeah.
It was when they tied the legendary ring to it, and then the last mission has you take on some elite ship or something, and I had like a 91% chance, and all my ships sunk, and the quest disappeared for 3 days. And I was like, yeah, forget this. Screw this.
I don't know. It didn't feel like a WoW. It didn't feel like WoW. It felt like I was playing mobile WoW. That's what everybody says.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it's a mobile
Yeah.
game. But, like, it really did.
Mhm.
It's just it lost that kind of steam. But I mean, granted, going back to like vanilla and Burning Crusade, like I've quit WoW all the time. Like in vanilla WoW, I probably quit WoW like 15 times. So it's not like it's new for me to just quit WoW.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, of course.
Mm.
I do think Warlords is the longest I've taken kind of an extended break, though.
Yeah,
I think the only other time I did was during Cataclysm.
I kind of stopped playing Mist of Pandaria but then I came back and did LFR, and I really liked LFR during Mist of Pandaria for some reason.
Yeah, I
They're
did
fun.
quite a lot of LFR then.
Yeah.
I mean,
A lot of people don't like LFR, but like I enjoy being able to experience the raids without having to like actually commit to raiding.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I hear ya.
So, yeah.
I mean,
I think you may be the first person we've had on the show that has said that.
Yeah,
You're the
it's-
first pro LFR.
I was thinking that, but I wasn't sure if I wanted to go into that.
No, it's
territory.
a good discussion. It's
Alright,
great to
alright.
have someone who says the opposite for a change.
Well, the only reason why I was like, oh, do we want to go into the LFR discussion is actually just before you joined the call, Crendor, me and McCluck were talking about LFR, man, this big old like hour-long talk about it. So it's like, oh god, here we go again. Let's go, like, taking 2 steps
Like-
back.
Why don't you like LFR? Or like, do you like it like what?
I don't like it as a raider myself because it's incredibly dull. That the tactics. I'll give the best example, which I gave to Nixxiom earlier, was I was progressing on Heroic Black Hand, and we killed him, my guild, just before the LFR wing opened up. And because I still needed a few of the materials for my legendary ring, I went in there for I'll knock out LFR and I'll do it. And it's so sad to see how gutted that encounter is on LFR. It's just like, this boss was really hard. It's like, it's a short fight, like 6 minutes long, but incredibly intense. And on LFR, it's just, you have people running around the arena, stepping on all the mines that he throws out, blown each other up, but not dying because they don't do enough damage, getting hit by all the daggers that he throws, getting knocked into like the molten magma that he pours down the edge of the arena, getting knocked off the edge, and then when it gets into the final phase where you're meant to be careful of his knockback because it can knock you off the cauldron, it only knocks you back about 3 foot on LFR.
That'd be kind of a funny like video, like everything's like stuffed animals, like you're stepping on stuffed animals and like little like cool noodles are hitting you and you're just like, oh, there's like a pool of like soda pop or something you like fall into, like, oh, it tastes good.
You may
it's just
McCluck actually made a video sort of like that.
Oh yeah, I did. Yeah. In content fair, I had it like the different difficulties of raiding, and one of them is just like the LFR is he's just solid. The boss just stands perfectly rigid still while these people wail on it.
And then you had, I loved the joke that you did. I don't know how you pulled it off, but you pulled it off perfectly. Like in the mythic version, it was the raider was tied to a rock and he was like in a bondage mask and stuff. And you were just like, oh, hit me harder. And like,
the boss is just hitting him. He's just enjoying it. Yeah.
That was great. I loved that. I think my thing with LFR and just to keep it simple, ever since Vanilla WoW when I started playing, I mean, the reason why I go to do a the reason why I want to do a raid is to see the raid, and I guess like for me it's like if I do. Like, let's say, since we were talking about Blackhand, if I do LFR Blackrock Foundry and I kill Blackhand, I killed Blackhand. I don't need to go to normal difficulty. I don't need to go to Heroic. I don't need to go to Mythic. I killed him. I beat him. There's no incentive that I personally will have to, and I think I've talked to a lot of people, and a lot of people kind of agree in this territory that there really isn't that incentive to go and beat him now because you did beat him. And so I think that, personally, although, I'm a busy person, like, I take care of myself, I also take care of my mother, and I don't really have time to, invest in, finding, well, I do have the time, I guess, I could find it. Everyone can find the time, I think. Yeah. Get a good guild and go raiding, and slowly progressing and shit. I think that I just like the time before LFR. You gotta actually go and talk to people, and you get in a guild, and if you wanna experience that Blackhand kill, you gotta do it with your friends in a guild in a raid team that you've been raiding with for a while, not just a bunch of strangers. I think that's a good feeling. So, pros and cons, I guess.
The feeling of always having more to see because it takes you longer to get that.
Yeah, too. Yeah.
What's why?
Pros and cons.
Like, I think LFR is good, but I think it should come a lot later than when it comes out now. Like, I think once, all the wings have been unlocked and all the wings have been beaten, everything, and, maybe a little bit of time's gone by after that, then you can put out LFR for people that just really don't, want to raid.
Yeah.
That's what I think, just because I'm if you hit that point, then whatever. And I don't think LFR should really give anything great. I feel like it should give 5-man or below loot.
Yes.
Or just cosmetic things. I don't think you should get anything oh yeah, you gotta do the LFR raid before you go actually raid. I think that's stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have this odd thing at the moment where they have mythic dungeons now, but the gear they offer is lower item level than LFR, and mythic dungeons are harder. It's a strange system.
One thing I would love to see with LFR, it's such a small change to the LFR system, and it's stepping into the territory of what you were just talking about, WoWcrendor. Very little change. So little. Just change the gear to blue gear. Make it blue gear instead of epic. Just that little thing, little change. So the epic gear. If you want to be epic, you got to go actually raid. You don't, go through the UI. So just a little change.
I feel like that's been a common thing people have wanted for a long time, and for some reason, I don't know why, they're just always let's give them the epics faster. But it's I remember back when you used to just always get blue gear unless you were raiding, and then you got the epic gear, and you're all right.
Yeah.
Like, it makes sense to do it that way. I don't know why they don't. Maybe they've done some study where it's like, psychologically, this will keep them playing or something. Like,
I don't think so. I think that the game has kind of shown that a lot of their choices lately, that's not how you keep people playing.
Yeah.
I think a lot of, we were talking about that earlier as well with like the game token and everything and how it's, on the European side at least, the price, because
78K
for a token, where it used to be 32K back when it was released and more people were playing. So, you see that big inflation going on.
Yeah.
But, here's to Legion. Come on,
Yeah.
Legion.
Yay.
Yeah.
Please be good.
Yeah, please.
Have you played on the alpha any, Crendor? Like, have you done a lot on the alpha? Have you checked it out?
Yeah, I've done a decent amount. I've done like a lot of the class like intro quest thingies, and I've went around like all the zones that have been open and like all that type of stuff. So I've done a decent amount.
That's good. Alright. I've done all the dungeons, I've done all the quest zones, I've done everything on the alpha so far. Every time they bust out something else, it's like, oh, okay, let's stream it. Here we go. Check it out, guys.
Yeah.
It's like the only thing though that I'm doing, and I people think I'm kidding when I'm doing this or when I say this on my stream, but it is the truth. Whenever I'm questing, I pay no attention to what is going on, like because by going through the quest lines, I'm kind of spoiling it for me, like when the game actually comes out. So I am not paying any attention to what happens in the cinematics or the cutscenes. I'm like literally putting my fingers over my eyes and saying, nope, I don't want to see it. I don't care. I'm not reading any quest text. I don't care what's going on. All I know is go here, kill this.
You just say put your fingers over your eyes.
Yeah. Put my
Not
hands
on your ears.
Whatever. You get it. You understand. You cover your eyes with your fingers there, or where with your hands. Shut up, Mom. You're not my real dad. But yeah, you get the idea. So, yeah. So I'm trying not to spoil everything for myself, even though I kind of have. Some artifact quest chains are better than others. The shaman one is like, I don't know if you've done it, but
I have not. I think that's one of the only ones I haven't done.
make a campfire.
Yeah, it's quite funny. It's like the most powerful shaman in the world can't light a campfire.
Like literally, it's like all the most powerful shamans are there, and they're like, "We need your help. We can't start this campfire." It's like, okay.
God, did you expect me to start a campfire? I can't do that. That's insane.
It's pretty funny. Like, check it out. You'll see.
When you light it, they act like you're the chosen one as well.
Yeah. Oh yes, you must lead us. You must lead us into the future. It's like, Blizzard, please. This cannot be final.
It's probably Chris Metzen.
Chris Metzen. Yeah. Oh wait. Yeah. Well, they can't light their fire because the wood's too wet. So we need someone with a really strong firepower to like light wet wood. You know. Like, oh, Chris, brilliant.
I think he switched over to Overwatch.
Overwatch?
Yeah. I'm quite excited for Overwatch, actually.
Overwatch is really fun.
Yeah. It was the first shooter I've played in years where I just feel like I'm having fun playing it.
Yeah. It's like, it feels like TF2, but like Blizzard and better. Like you get an ultimate ability, like all the classes. The fact you can like change between classes is really nice. So like someone will pick something and you can counter that, and then you can like, the fact you constantly change makes it that much different from other FPS games.
Yeah.
I enjoy it. I think it's fun.
I would love to be in the beta, but unfortunately...
we had our chance. We played for
We got in that one little open beta.
Be patient. Be patient.
It was an open beta. Like, I want to... Damn it. Blizzard, I give you the advertisings and stuff. The YouTubes. Gimme.
Be patient.
Give me my beta.
Entitled.
I am entitled. It's mine.
You're not entitled.
It's mine.
Settle down.
Settle down, young man. It's mine.
The only
I want
thing
it.
the only thing about Overwatch that I think they need to fix at the moment is they have that little play of the game at the end.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like the person who did the most score winning play. It's a little broken because I remember that in one I was playing as what's his name, Zenyatta, the healing robot monk thing, and I accidentally activated my ultimate, and I healed nobody but myself, and I was like, oh, I hope nobody saw that. And then at the end of the match, that was the play of the game. They had to sit there watching this. Yeah.
Play that epic music.
Floating around, healing nobody.
Everyone's like, great job, man, great job, like over the
Great
microphone.
job.
Yeah, there's a lot of broken plays in that thing. Like, I know there's Lucio. I've seen a lot of broken Lucio plays where like he just skates around and then it's like nothing happened and he gets to play the game. I'm like, oh, all right.
Dude, that was a mad line
Sick
that he
moves,
just skated.
bro.
Sick moves, man. You see that? That was awesome.
Right on.
Someone puts a turret down. Oh!
Brilliant. Brilliant. Or just repairs a turret. There you go. And I didn't really get to play the beta too much when we did get to play it. We played a little bit. I even put a video up on my channel about it. And I love the fact that when I started recording it, me and Mukluk, I was playing as Call of Duty Soldier Man 76 or whatever his name is.
We're all soldiers now.
We're all soldiers now. I was playing him, and like, you know, luckily, the very first game me and Mukluk played, I did like incredibly well, and so like the comments were like, wow, like Nixxiom, like you guys are really good. Like you and Mukluk did incredibly well, and it's like probably left that comment a little bit too early because the other two games we played, we got wrecked. It's like, oh yes, oh man, we're gonna do good. I was like thinking in my head, like this is gonna be a great video. People are gonna think we're so good at this game, and because of the first win, and then oh man, we just got stomped the other two games. Fantastic, had a great time.
They do a good, like, they're in the process of like trying to figure out a good balancing system too, where you play and you're like, yeah, we just destroyed them, and then you get destroyed, and then it gives you like a balanced match, and it's like, all right, keep them here. So that's pretty much half of all competitive games is balancing.
Yeah, of course.
I'm looking forward to it. It's gonna be good, I think.
Are there any other games that you're like looking forward to playing or checking out, Mr. Crendor? Because I know that you do a lot of little gameplay thingies on your channel.
I don't know if there's like any new ones I've really been like, oh man, I can't wait for that game to come out. A lot of games I don't even know they're coming out, and then they just happen, and I'm like, oh, this is fun. Like, there's The Culling I've been playing, which is like the Hunger Games, but kind of crazy. That's been pretty fun. It's not like a great game, but it's just a fun game to play for a bit. Because you're like, hey, it's like Hunger Games. And then I've played Stardew Valley. I don't know if you've played that one.
I've never heard of either of these games.
Well, Stardew Valley is a craze. It's very hip with the kids right now.
Oh.
So you got to farm. It's like Harvest Moon, and you just farm, and you gather your crops, and you go do stuff.
Sounds awesome.
It's pretty much a farming game. It's very like relaxing. It's what you do like at the end of the day, where you just want to calm down and then maybe fall asleep while you're halfway through it. So
I hear you.
those are some games. Like other like people are like, you should play this MMORPG like Black Desert Online.
I'm playing that right now.
But like I can't play. The only other MMORPG I played that I really enjoyed was like Guild Wars 2, and even when I got to max level, I was like, eh. So like I don't know. I feel like the only MMORPG I like is WoW. I'm like, I'd rather just play WoW if I'm gonna play one.
I feel the same. I've played like a load of MMOs in the past 2 years, but none of them have ever been able to keep my attention. Like, I played Guild Wars 2 as well, and Final Fantasy. I played Arcade before it went downhill, and I'm trying Black Desert now. But I always end up coming back to WoW. It's just something that's done well in WoW. I mean, for all its faults at the moment, it still does a lot of stuff.
It's
perfectly.
been polished over like so many years that even if people don't like things about it, it does so many other things well because they've done it for so long.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Plus you have that like attachment to it already where you've already put so many hours into it that you're like, I'll just play it because I've already invested time into it, so it's like whatever.
Definitely.
That and like the art style. I just like some people like it's not realistic. I'm like it's Warcraft. Like it's like cartoony type fantasy universe. That's what it is. Like, it's not supposed to be like realistic.
Actually, I personally do not like it when MMOs try to step into the realism realm. I mean, I think the only game that I'm kind of like giving it a little bit of a pass is Black Desert, just because I don't want to go into a big talk about it, but there's just like a lot of like little details and stuff. But like, for example, like Elder Scrolls Online. I remember one of my biggest gripes with Elder Scrolls Online and like other MMOs that have pursued that realism route. It kind of just hits that uncanny valley for me, where it's just like, okay, like this doesn't. I understand you're trying to go with these like high-end graphics, but it just doesn't look right. It's muddy.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
Yeah,
I will
like that
give Black Desert props for being the first kind of Eastern MMO that I've played where I can actually make an ugly character.
Oh yeah.
Because every time I play an Eastern MMO, they're always like these cutesy characters. I'm like, where's the sliders for like big noses and big chins? Because I can't make it happen.
They're like, you can play attractive model male, or you can play half-naked woman, or you can play a weird little like
Spawn of
cat creature.
yeah, like cat girl, and you're like, this is kind of weird. It's just like, yeah.
Yep. I remember everybody was poking me about the whole Black Desert thing, and I was like, I don't want to play this dumb game. It's just gonna be filled with like talking animals and crap. And there are a couple talking animals in it. You know, I'm even talking about that in my first impressions. It's like, there were talking animals. But luckily, there's only like one or two. So I was like, okay, alright, we're safe. It's not completely ruined.
My character on Black Desert Online looks like an orc from Lord of the Rings.
He does.
Love it.
He does.
He's a human.
I look
Like an orc or an urukai?
An orc, because he's got like long arms and the kind of pointy chin and big nose.
He took a little tumble off the cliff.
And he's got like, like the eyes that have like cat eyes. Yeah, took a little tumble off the cliff.
I love that one. It's hilarious. My character looks like Khal Drogo from Game of Thrones. He does. Like, he looks like Khal Drogo. I ride around my horse. I'm like, oh, dude, check it out. Where's my Khaleesi? Where's she at?
Game of Thrones starts again soon. I'm excited.
Does, yeah.
Now,
but almost everyone in it's dead already. So
everyone cool's dead.
Starting to root for the White Walkers at this point.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta love the White Walkers.
Oh yeah.
White Walkers 2016.
Mm-hmm. What are we supposed to do? Oh, we shrink these guys. Okay. I see what we gotta do.
Oh yeah, I was gonna ask you two a question. I'm gonna switch it up. Switch it around.
Alright.
So, as fellow WoW Machinima makers, have you ever gotten like bored or worn out of making WoW Machinimas, or felt uninspired, and then had that change, or like you come up with a good idea and you're like, oh yeah, and then you do that, and then you feel that again? Or are you more inspired when you're actually playing the game? Like, I'm curious.
Do you want to go first?
I'll go first.
Or do you want me? I could talk for a while. Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Like, last year, after 6.2 came out, my motivation to really make videos on WoW was like so low. I was just like, I can't believe that this is kind of the end. Like, I have no desire to play this game. Why should I make videos on it? And I did. I took like a long break. I mean, in a way, I'm still taking a break now from it, from making machinimas. I went and I had the opportunity to edit guide videos for Method. So it was a nice change of pace. I didn't have to like think of a story for myself. I could just work on that.
Mm-hmm.
And it's weird, like, I find that I'm not motivated to make videos about the game, but I feel motivated to make videos
through it.
About characters. Yeah, through it is a better way to put it. About like characters that I've made myself. Like, I really want to make more videos about like our characters, like little adventures or stuff that they do, the trouble they get into. But I have no desire to make anything like, I guess a good example would be your how-to series, Nixxiom. Like, I wouldn't, at the moment I don't want to make videos like that, but I do want to make story videos. And that's kind of what keeps me motivated. My own creation, in a way, is, although WoW is what I'm using to bring the video to life, making my own stuff, making my own stories, and telling them to people is kind of what keeps me motivated.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of what's happened to me too. Like
Yeah.
I find it more fun and rewarding now to do like more story-based stuff. Like back when I started, I did a lot of like I get it how to win it, wow, get things, or just like whatever, where I just like play off the game and like this is the person you see when you're raiding, and it's like whoa. Well, recently I've been more into like what you were talking about with like developing characters or like wanting to make little like shows or like stories. Like I like doing Orc vs. Wild, where it's like
Yeah.
he's just like surviving, but it's not, you don't have to like know the game really to understand it. Like you just see him in an environment surviving, and you can throw in like little like jokes here and there about like WoW stuff if you want, but you don't have to. And I think that's more rewatchable and watchable too for like someone that maybe hasn't played WoW in a while or used to play WoW or doesn't play WoW, and they can watch that and be like, I don't play WoW, but that was pretty entertaining.
Yeah, that's actually my favorite video series of yours. I'm
really?
glad you brought it up, yeah. Yeah, it kind of goes back to even like Oxhorn's videos. Like a lot of his didn't really have much to do with the game, but more to do with his little cast of characters.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, speaking of my own, or based on my own experience, I mean, I don't like really play WoW. I haven't played WoW for a long time now. I mean, the only time I play WoW, in quotes, is like right now. It's to do this greatest adventure, and the only reason why I find this enjoyable is because this is an opportunity to sit back and talk to Mooklock about a bunch of BS and talk to a special guest about a bunch of BS. It's great, and so that's fun. But for me, I will say that I do struggle at times to make videos like, you know, like the class order halls in a nutshell and stuff like that, because it is more just focused on the game itself. But in regards to like the how-to series, like I just released How to Rogue, like not, it wasn't even 2 days ago. Like to me, I don't have a problem with working on that because I don't really see that as like I'm what are the words I'm looking for? I'm not really so reliant on the game. I'm just kind of making fun of like the stereotypical rogue or warrior or paladin or whatever. And like even like, you know, like with the paladin and WoWcrendor, you should be very familiar with the How to Paladin video. You were in it.
Great video.
Yeah, I was just making up stuff like, oh yeah, paladins, they watch anime and they all got ADD, because I heard someone say that once in trade chat. So let's make a whole video about that. Like, but it really has nothing to do with the paladin. Oh, and they all have anime hair, you know. So there you go, bam. But personally, me, like when it comes to editing, I've never really felt like 100% uninspired to make videos. I know eventually I will at some point. It'll hit me. Yeah. But I guess that's just because, like, I guess through the power of Mobile Viewer and the power of After Effects, I guess anything is possible.
Yeah.
You know, like, if you want, like, you know, like, there's that one video you were also in, WoWcrendor, which is one of my favorites, actually. That's how to make easy gold in World of Warcraft.
Oh yeah.
I think that was the first video you ever did, or you had a voice in. I think it was the first time I ever like talked to you. That's when I was asking you for a bunch of advice, like, I'm trying to be a YouTuber.
How can I YouTube, please?
How do I YouTube? Like there's that one scene. I love the scene where you have there was like the giant robot like blowing up Stormwind and stuff, and so being able to create that like and just go crazy, I mean, it always keeps my motivation going, because I'm like, oh, how can I kind of ramp it up even further? In How to Rogue, for example, I had Agent X and the noob getting attacked by a bunch of bunny rabbits, and like they're just freaking out and like having a seizure, even though like these rabbits aren't even doing anything. They're just hopping around like minding their own business, like ah. So if you've seen the video, but yeah, I don't know. I will say though that I guess the only time I do kind of feel like uninspired is like if maybe something's happening in real life or something, but once that's over, like I'm back in the editing chair and I'm going. But sometimes it is a struggle to come up with ideas.
Yeah,
you know,
that's kind of like my thing. Like I've made like over 100 like WoW Machinima type things now, and it's like I find myself like if I write something, I hold myself back a bit because I'm like, oh, I could do this thing and put it in, but I'm like, I don't know how to do that in After Effects or like do that, and I'm like, someone else could do it better than me, or I'm like, I don't know, I'll just leave it out. So like, I enjoy writing the most out of anything, and well, like I know a lot of people would prefer to like be editing, but at the same time, editing is usually a lot more work. So it's people like, why do you hire an editor? I'm like, I don't want to hire an editor. Like, if I'm gonna make something, I'm gonna make it myself. But like, I don't. It's such a like it's like animators too. Like I love animations, like and people animate, but they do a lot of work to like make that animation. Like we have a WoWcrendor animator guy that we have all our stuff for, and like it takes him like weeks to just make one animation, and it's like I don't know if I could do that. I don't know if I have like the patience to do that. And it's like the same with editing. Like I get very impatient, and I'm just like I just want to make the thing, which is why all my things are like just a weird half-ass style, but that's kind of just become my thing in a way. It's weird because I'm like, if I got an editor that like made it really good, they'd be like, this isn't your style. But I'd also be like, yeah, that's not my style. So I don't know. It's a weird scenario to be in.
Personally, I mean, I don't. The editing is. I don't particularly. I'm not a big fan of editing. I don't like sitting in After Effects for hours and hours. And back when I was younger and I was starting with like WoW Machinima, this is like back in like Burning Crusade, Wrath of the Lich King. I've been doing it for a long time, but I hated editing. And like I'd write like a script and spend so much time like on the writing part, and then I'd start working on the video and I'd just give up after like maybe like 10 shots in After Effects or something. And when I finally decided to attempt to turn YouTube into my full-time position, I kind of had to like teach myself just bite the bullet and just do it. You know, going a little Shia LaBeouf here, but you know, just do it. Like, just do it. And so I just sat down and I did it, and I knew I could do it, and people enjoyed the videos that I did put out. It took me forever to finish because I was slow and lazy, but you know, I was at the time. I can admit it. But,
I think everyone's lazy to a degree. Like everyone's like, you just gotta not be lazy. You gotta put it. But like everybody like is lazy. Like everybody procrastinates. Unless I think it's weird if you don't procrastinate.
I think everyone is efficient, and if something's not working efficiently, then they just try and find a way to like surpass it or you know, get past it. Just avoid doing the hard thing and take the easy route.
Well, I mean, like, I'm. This is actually before I met you, Mookluk. I'm referring to the time before time. You know, like I'm talking like it would take me like 6 months to make a 2-minute video, and like nowadays I could do a 2-minute video in like one evening. Like, I mean, you talk about. I was a lazy kid. Okay, all I wanted to do was eat potato chips, watch my cartoons, and get fat. Okay, all I cared about. So, and that's what I did, and it was incredible. Yes. Did you want to? I do have a very important question for you, Crendor, and I don't know how much time we've been talking for because this recording software does not give me a time.
Oh, right, that's fine.
I think we've just gone over it.
Just ask the question.
All right, I'm gonna ask you a question. Here we go.
All right.
WoWcrendor, WoWcrendy, my friend, my ally, my comrade.
Right.
You have talked extensively every now and then. I've not watched every video where you've addressed this, but you have talked about your book. Tell me, give me some spoilers. Because I also am writing a book, so I am very interested in fellow writers.
Alright. Well, I don't know about you, but like, I've discovered that writing, especially like a fantasy novel, is a lot more work than you'd imagine.
Yes.
So, because like, when you want to start writing, you're like, oh yeah, let's write a fantasy book. It'll be easy. You know, as long as you're not like one of those like crappy like young adult like forced out books like Jenny of the Power Kingdom. It's just like it's like I lost my ways of my family and now I'm gonna reclaim this. Like I don't want to make that. I want to make like an actual world and like, you know, everything. But so like you start doing it and you're like, all right, this is what I want to do, and you start writing it and you're like, you know what, I don't really like this.
Oh,
And so you
yeah,
like
yeah,
scrap that and you start something else and you're like, all right, but you know what? I want to add in this thing or this character. And you're like, all right, but you know what? I don't like this part anymore. It's just a constant editing like cycle that you go through. Like
Yep.
currently, the book I'm writing is at first I wanted to make a thing like Game of Thrones, but like kind of mixed with like Harry Potter, where it's like not as in depth as Harry or Game of Thrones, and it's more kind of like I don't know a good word for it, but like how Harry Potter's more approachable and simple. And I was like, all right, and I started writing that, and I was like, but I don't want to write something just because I think it'll be good. Like I want to write something I want to write.
Yeah.
And so I was like, I'm gonna write this story. So I was like, currently there's like this lake, and it's like a magical lake,
Okay.
and nobody knows how it got there, and it's like stemmed like all these different races and like wizards and all this weird stuff, and everybody that's from the lake has this weird like something in their veins that makes them like magical, but sometimes you have too much of it and it makes you go crazy. And so this wizard dude is like looking around, and he's kind of like a Gandalf, right? And he's like looking to build this like fellowship. Where it's like, we need to go to the lake and like investigate it. However, unlike he's not a wise old wizard, he's like a crazy wizard. He's like a short, crazy like gnome wizard. And so he's like trying to gather these people up, but they're just like, what's wrong with you? And so like but like instead of gathering like the finest like archers and axemen and my axe and whatever, he's like finding just random ass people that are just kind of like all right, that'll like go with him. And like the more I've been writing it, the like more fun of a like it's actually fun to write it and like see like weird character. It's like normally when you write a fantasy thing, you're like, oh, I'm gonna write like the brave knight that becomes he's a prince and he becomes leader of his kingdom, and now it's just like, hey, want to come on my adventure, random merchant guy? And he's just like, like, not really, but okay. So like,
There'll be money involved. I'll pay you well.
So like, no, that's like the basic premise of what I'm doing.
Mookluck, you keep stealing all my beasts.
Sorry.
I don't get any credit for when you blow them up. How many do you have?
8 out of 10.
Oh my goodness, I have 1. All right, sorry. Just been like sitting here like every time you take one, trying to listen.
Nimble up those fingers and hit those keys faster.
Shut up. Oh my goodness.
What's your book about?
Man, even I don't really know. I'm writing it. I don't know. My book is about. I'm very inspired. My writing style is very inspired by. I'm also writing a fantasy book first and foremost. I can start there. It's a fantasy / a mythology, I would say, in some ways. But it's more of a fantasy. I'm kind of taking the liberty to. I'm stepping out of traditional fantasy, where I actually am creating like different new races. It's not just orcs and elves and stuff like that. You're talking about Theron, you're talking about Duranoth, you're talking about weirdlings. But I never explain what these people look like, and I do that intentionally. What does a Theron look like? I don't know. Maybe a Theron is just a human, and it's just what they call themselves. Like, oh, we are the Theron people, like just like we are Americans, you know? I don't know. I don't explain that intentionally, and there's reasons for that, but I won't go into all that. But to keep things simple, it's a very, very metaphorical, very poetic book. Lots of poetry is in it. I like writing poetry in my free time. And it's about a young man named Krathul, who, in a nutshell, he lives in a village. Things begin to go south for him and for his people. And ultimately, it's a plague. A plague inflicts his people, and there's only one way to escape it. And he has a friend named Remius, and they decide to go west, into the west. And that is, the west is kind of like you have a river that divides this land they live in. The east is the civilized part, towns and villages, but the west is like this untamed wilderness. And in the west, they go because they have heard that there's the leader. Their society is led by a king and also a a council of druids who kind of represent their religious views. And the leader of the druids, the Archdruid, he lives out in the west alone by himself at the foot of these mountains. And if you find him, they've heard, he can appoint you to become a druid. And if you're a druid, it's kind of like back in the day if you became a monk, you know, like you would be taken care of, you'd be fed and clothed and all that stuff. And they don't have anywhere to go. Like, you know, they've lost their people. Like Crypto's lost his mother and stuff like that. They don't have anywhere to go, and so they go out west. I don't want to spoil everything that happens, but they go west, and ultimately they do meet this druid, and they meet the Archdruid Ashvin, and he is not anything like they expected him to be. And all the great magic and stuff that they've heard that this Archdruid could apparently do, like summoning storms and controlling animals, it's all stories. And Ashvin kind of slowly throughout the book, there's lots of stuff that happens, but it's a very I'm kind of exploring the human spirit in a way. He kind of explains what magic really is deep down. It's not casting fireballs. It's not all this stuff of stories and children's beliefs like Cthulhu believes as he's going out there. It's more about I don't want to spoil, you know. It's about other things, and it's kind of like the story of a young man learning about what life is really about.
It's like a growing up experience.
It's a growing up experience. It's based a lot off of myself in some ways. There's some elements of me in there. There's some elements of my friends in there, people that I've met. I've been to Africa. I've been all around the world. There's a little bit of everybody I've met, my friends and whatnot, and
Am I in there?
Are you in there? Yeah, you're the annoying character.
Hey, perfect.
Yeah. So, that's what my story's about. It's more of a metaphorical, poetic, story.
Yeah.
Kind of like Lord of the Rings. It's Lord of the Rings is my big inspiration. Like, very metaphorical book.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of tend to tell people if you thought Lord of the Rings was about two little people taking a ring to a volcano, you kind of missed the point. What Tolkien was trying to say. There's a lot of symbolism in there.
There's a ton of symbolism.
Yeah, so there's my little quick 2 seconds.
I think the fun part of writing is, like, you gotta find your writing style, which took me probably, like, 2 years of, like, just reading stuff and writing and, like, doing both, and I'm like, oh, it's like, alright, it's like, finally, you, like, settle on something where you're like, this is how I like to write. And then you just, like, continuing to read stuff as well is, like, one of the biggest motivational or, like, inspirational factors towards writing. So you see how other people write and how you can actually write differently and how big of a difference that'll make. That and, like, character development. Because, like, when I first started, like, writing characters, like, it was this character, that character, but then I started giving them more backstory before I'd actually write about them. And so maybe you're like, instead of being like, this guy's a merchant, you're like, this guy's a merchant who, like, used to be a, like, trader of trolls, and he bought this troll, and, like, that changed him in some way. So, like, you're, like, adding all these little tidbits of backstory, and that's going to influence how they react with all these characters. So if you runs into, like, another, like, guy that used to do that, he's going to act differently versus if it was just, like, some randy normal guy. So it's like there's so much depth behind the writing, even if it's, like, really simplistic writing.
I will say, like, you were talking about, like, rewriting and stuff. Like, you write something, you're not satisfied with it, you got to rewrite it. I do the exact same thing. Like, usually what I do whenever I'm writing is I'll write, like, a piece or a chapter, and I'll be like, okay, I wrote it. Now, time to rewrite it. And I'll open it on one monitor, and I'll open up a new Word document on another monitor, and I'll be rewriting it paragraph by paragraph, adding more detail, kind of, redefining, like, how the characters talk and stuff, because I don't write like my characters like they talk kind of like this. There's a bit of ye for yonder forsooth, venture yonder weary knave, stuff like that. There's a bit of talk, like, kind of old English talking. So I gotta, sometimes what I might end up doing is, like, I'll like read a sentence, like, I don't think that sounds right. I think I could say that differently. I'll kind of Google around, and I'll watch, like, shows and read stories that you know, kind of have that inspiration behind it and be like, ah, yes, yeah, ye for yonder, forsooth.
That's probably the
So-
biggest thing you can do is like getting inspiration by watching and reading stuff. Even with like WoW videos, like a lot of times I'll go watch my old WoW videos or other people's WoW videos and like I want to make WoW videos now. Like just watching those things like that inspires you.
Yeah, definitely. I agree.
If I were to write a book, I'd like to write a Lovecraftian nursery book.
And
And it'd be called the little Kafurgaloff. And it'd be
Okay.
about an interdimensional being that's raised by a family and eventually consumes their minds and tears down the walls of reality. For kids!
that sounds like a great book. Lots of
That
deep,
does sound
lots
like a
of
great
deep
book.
messages in there.
You should write that. Start writing it right now.
Starring-
As an 800-year-old spirit, I encourage you to write that.
Thank you, wise spirit.
Oh,
You're welcome.
Speaking
Also,
of which, I don't think we have much time left with the,
yes,
Yeah,
the
wise
spirit
I was about
has
to say.
to return to his time where his bathroom fan must be replaced.
yeah, the spirit buff is wearing out in the upper right-hand corner of my screen.
Yes.
Accompanying
It's very,
spirit.
it's very busy in the spirit world.
Mhm,
Very busy.
mhm, bathrooms.
Very. The bathroom, there's just the ceiling gets wet after showers, you know,
Ooh.
spirit showers, and you got the bathroom fan doesn't clear the water off fast enough, so it has to be replaced. It's a complicated process you don't understand in this olden time.
Oh, that's
I'm just happy to know that there's showers in the spirit world.
Yeah, let's say stay clean.
the heck is a shower? I'm a Tauren, man. I don't need that. I smell
Shall
like the
we
flames
shall
of
we go
Overwatch.
around this fire and bid the spirit farewell?
Which fire? This one? This little
This
tiny
tiny,
fire?
very tiny little
This little
fire.
tiny fire? Like this is where we're gonna send him. Okay, all right. Well, Mr. What was it again?
Coriander.
Coriander, Mr. Coriander. I should remember that because I had a guild leader named Coriander back in the day. Mr. Coriander, WoWcrendor. Thank you for hanging out with us, friend. Thank you for spoiling your book for me. Thank you.
No problem.
I was
I'll probably
always
change
curious.
it soon anyway.
Yeah, I'm sure I'll change a lot too. Yeah. But yeah, man. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for coming by and chilling out with us.
Yeah,
Yeah,
thank
thanks
you
for
for
having
joining
us.
us.
Yeah, I had fun. I enjoyed it.
Well, you
It
go
was
get-
great chatting to you, and it was a pleasure to have you.
Mhm.
Thank you. I'm now fading into the spirit realm.
Farewell.
Farewell, Mr. Spirit.
Farewell.
We'll summon you again sometime.
Oh.
Wait, hold on. I forgot my line. The greatest adventure is what lies ahead. That's how you know the episode's about to conclude.
Okay, goodbye everyone.
Goodbye, everybody. Thanks for watching.
Bye.
Eh.